wonder if this is going to work. Because you can't really see it. I'm kind of standing in the way of it. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. We got this like kind of really cool little poster looking thing. It's got all the different kinds of sciencey stuff. I think we figured out it was a shower curtain or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you imagine walking into somebody's house and they have that as their shower curtain? That's funny. So yeah. All right. I guess I'm just gonna have to scoot over a little. I don't know. Trying to get this to go. Okay. So. Oh, can you hear my laptop?
That helps.
Yeah. Oh Lord. So yeah. Here's a mess. It's all good. All right. Just grabbing the laptop. I look like shit today, by the way. I'm bar. This is makeup from yesterday because we were out and about and did a bunch of things. So,
I don't know if this is going to work. I'll try. I don't know.
yeah, that should work.
Okay. Maybe you should put the clone wing on. Everybody be focusing on you there.
Oh, Lord.
That was a joke. It was a joke.
I can.
No, it was a joke. It was a joke for
I'm
you.
going to do it. I can't reach it. But
Good. There's a reason.
yeah, I can't reach it.
That's
Okay.
good. Yeah. You have to feel big. Correct.
Trying to get my laptop to turn on.
Did you have to have your laptop plugged in? Okay.
No, it's fully charged. It should be good right now.
Okay.
Okay. So, calendar. Okay. Hope y'all had a good Halloween. I know mine was pretty awesome. I don't know if you can see that. That's how awesome my Halloween was. Oh, it's got fur on it. Hold on. That's one thing I noticed. This thing's like capturing all of the little hairs that are in my clothes or around. I don't know if you can see it or not. Yep. I got engaged. I've been telling everybody, even when we went to the haunted house last night, I was telling all the workers, not like they gave a shit. But today is the first day of American Indian Heritage, and a new moon started today. Awesome. So we're under a new moon. First of the month, go ahead and blow that cinnamon in the front door. Or wash your hands with salt and cinnamon. Why does it say literature and art? Oh, because I have, okay, I'm behind a day. Never mind. Okay. Today in Sciences worksheets, I don't have worksheets. I don't have any websites written in, but Today in Science is pretty much a Google search. So, projects. I did write down to put salt in a tree base to see if it would help neutralize the tree base for it to rot out. But then I got to thinking about it. Why don't people use tree bases as a place to plant a new tree? I mean, you already have a root system and everything, and it's just going to take it over. So core out the centerpiece and plant a tree inside of an existing tree, and you're giving it all its nutrients. So, experiment. We are. I have to find a way to get a hold of either a slingshot, like a very big slingshot, or a trebuchet. So, for those of you who don't know what a trebuchet is, it's basically that like thing that they used like back in the day to yeet stuff. It's like a big bucket on the end, and you just throw it miles away. So, what we're gonna do, my son and I were talking about this. We're gonna use a trebuchet to yeet my bouquet at the wedding. This is gonna be interesting. um, so what to do next week? Right now we're pretty much just running with day to day kind of thing. Next week should have been frequencies. We can get into that a little bit. If any of you guys do watch or listen to frequencies, I know Jeff does in the mornings. I used to. I like to turn a frequency on and then like do stuff in the house. And it does. It helps you be able to kind of focus and zone out away from all the thoughts of the world, or even into the thoughts of the world. You okay?
Yes.
Okay. And the topic starter for frequency was in music as a way to heal. I noticed a lot of musicians here lately have started jumping on that bandwagon of adding in higher frequencies to their music, or specific frequencies to their music. Say if it's a song about money, they're going to use a frequency to attract money in that song. So if it's a song about like heartbreak, then they're going to put frequencies in there for like healing or something like that. So I noticed a lot of the music industry, like higher ups, so to speak, are using that now. So it's kind of cool. And then I've also talked previously about like people starting to look a lot more into the spiritual side of things. Not spiritual as in religious. I'm meaning spiritual as in 3D, 5D world. Like a higher realm beyond our own understanding, maybe. And we also have an inner standing. So people will start to see a little bit more of that, and you're going to start to notice a lot more spiritual stuff in everyday life. And I don't mean like, oh, okay, well, I'm hearing more about the Bible, or I'm hearing more about, you know, these other religions. This doesn't have anything to do with religion. This has to do with like spiritual belief system. So you'll see it more in your everyday. There's a lot of changes, lots of big changes happening right now. We're in the middle of a lot of big changes, but we're also getting ready to experience a massive change, I think, on a worldwide scale. We are already experiencing large quantities of water transfer, which I was talking with Jeff about the other day, of when there's water and large quantities of it. Water attracts energy. It helps it to be able to cleanse it, to help it flow, to help movement. I mean, what does water do, right? So, we're hearing a lot about like the water in the news. I'm seeing it a lot, like especially on TikTok and stuff like that, from people all over the world talking about all these floods and stuff. Florida's talking about water not receding. For example, go look at Myrtle Beach, not Myrtle Beach, Daytona Beach. I always get those two mixed up. Beach is gone. I just watched a video this morning about a guy that uses a canoe to go get groceries, and canoes back to his house, and he's been like that since the hurricane. So, when there's, my point is when there's large bodies of water and there's a lot of movement, and there's a lot of movement of water around the world, that's representative of worldwide change. So, it's kind of like a cleansing in a sense. A forced change to cause a forced creation, so to speak. And I really wish I could get that quote from Zorg that he said in that one movie, The Fifth Element. I mean, it really does have the best definition of what I'm trying to explain. Oh, it's when he was choking on a cherry. Hey. So yeah, trying to see if I can find the conversation that happened prior to him choking on the cherry. Here.
By creating a little destruction. A cherry. I'm in fact encouraging life. In reality, you and I are in the same business. Cherish.
Okay, so there, before he says that, is when he's explaining about workers and evolution and like the change effect. When something massive happens, it creates massive change. Ads, you gotta love them. Let's see. Explaining to the preacher. Yeah, see, it only clips it like right after, right as he's getting ready to choke on them. Hold on. See if I can find it. Hey, ad blocker. No, I'm not. I'm not a science teacher. We're talking about science as a topic today, more of so of like a homeschooling thing rather than like a actual school system type everyday science class. So yeah, it's just a topic. I don't know a whole lot about most of things, but I do feel like Google has a lot of answers to a lot of questions that I have, and then a lot of the stuff that we learn, we kind of learn together here. In real life as well as in the stream. So, which is not real life, but you get what I'm saying. We kind of learn as we go in this, and it's pretty interesting some of the topics that come up in the homeschooling thing. I've learned a lot from just me streaming. Even if no one watched, I continued to stream, and I learned a lot from just doing this every day. So even if it's just a simple conversation of, oh, hey, I like the topic of science, come join me. Yeah, this is just us talking and going over some stuff and coming up with ideas and a little thing that I kind of threw together. Really, it was for my kids, but it's for me too, and it's for y'all. So, hopefully, somebody can walk away from this with some kind of awesome life lesson that may be positive or negative, whatever it may be. Hopefully, it does good somewhere in the world. Think I found it. No, I don't want cable free TV. They range from 15 to 21. Well, 14 because not 15 officially yet. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like I said, some of the stuff that we've learned. Uh, Unfortunately, Twitch did not save my past 3 years of streaming. But to look at it the bright way, it was kind of like practice. So, unfortunately, we did lose a lot of that information. And then I also lost 3 years of content when I had to reset my laptop. So, anyway. But yeah, feel free to join us whenever I am live. And just join in the conversation. This is prior to, I think, when they had it to where it automatically posted or something. I thought when I first started Twitch, I thought it automatically posted to YouTube. And then I realized that some of the videos were not getting transferred. And then I realized all of the videos were not getting transferred. So now I have to go back and go in and upload them or import them or whatever the word is, export to YouTube. So there's like a process that happens. I don't know if there's an easier way. Please let me know, because that would be amazing. Also, if I have any viewers, and I'm just going to go ahead and say this to the collective. If I have any viewers that have been watching my stream for the past 3 years, and for some reason you have this amazing ability that you record everything I say, would be wonderful if you could send it to me. That'd be great. Just saying. But yeah, I actually do have a YouTube account. It has a very little on there right now because, like I said, it had not transferred. And when you first start streaming on Twitch, it's like a period of time that happens before you become an affiliate. Like you have to meet certain requirements before you become an affiliate. Then once you become an affiliate, then you have a certain set of requirements you have to meet to become a partner, blah, blah, blah. So for the first 2 years, I think it was, first 6 months for sure, I was streaming 2 hours every single day. 6 hours every single day, sorry. And at a minimum 2 hours every day, and became an affiliate. And then once I became an affiliate, it's like I started taking all these other extra steps. So when I first started out, it was like, oh, I'm learning about it, blah, blah, blah. And then once I became an affiliate, that's when they started kind of outlining what some of the requirements were. You had to wait 24 hours and all this stuff. Well, now they don't have it to where a 24-hour thing, and now they don't have it where you can't share your stuff. So they're a little bit more open platform, I guess, so to speak. So that's amazing to me now. So being able to multi-stream, which I just started another account too, and being able to have it to where it transfers fairly quickly is awesome. But yeah, I do have some like video clips that people took, which was super cool. But yeah, unfortunately, most of my content got lost. No, I do not have a teacher certificate or anything like that. Like, I just homeschool. And I kind of threw myself into this. So yeah. Yeah, I had a 2-hour session in the morning, 2-hour session in the afternoon, and a 2-hour session at night. The morning one was like a daytime TV show or a radio show. The afternoon one was like the homeschooling, and then the evening one was adult chat. So, I was streaming a lot. Yeah, there's a couple of videos floating around and like some little clips and like pictures and stuff like that, and things that we did during the stream. And for the most part, most of my social media has a good bit of it. I did include my kids in the videos and stuff like that as much as they wanted to be. So that was a really awesome experience. And I think that a lot of the streaming and stuff like that now, if people want to do it and they want to be included in it, it's a really awesome way to bring families together. It's a really cool way to express yourself completely. It's an awesome way to learn. TikTok actually started a STEM section. I don't know if you guys are interested in that, since you guys did click on my homeschooling stuff, where you can actually learn short videos or live teaching. So go check that out if you have a chance to. TikTok has a STEM section, and it's across the top. You can pick and choose who you want to follow and stuff like that. It's super cool. I'm really excited and happy that, a lot of these social media sites that are including influencers are actually influencing people in a positive way. And I feel like a lot of people kind of got lost in the sauce of becoming famous and they forgot to be a human being. We all do it. Like, say, for example, if you won the lottery, all of a sudden your life changes, right? So, you start to get on here, you start to stream, you start to do all these things, and it starts to become this like really awesome experience. And then when you don't do it anymore, it's like you kind of miss it. So I came back live. This really has been something that's gotten me through a lot of hard times. And like, I'm thinking too many things at the same time. So, but this is really awesome. I do encourage it for people to try to learn to, even if you're doing the gaming thing, which for Twitch, me homeschooling on here is kind of weird. I don't know. I've only ever seen people gaming and stuff. So, or playing music or something like that. So, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. If it's great, it's great. If it's not a big deal. So I just enjoy it, and I hope that you guys get to enjoy it too. And it's officially become pretty much part of my life now. All the social media stuff and all the streamings and stuff like that. So, but yeah. Like I said, I'm not an actual licensed teacher. This is just a place to come to talk about this topic. And if we learn something along the way, that's great. I feel that education and knowledge is something that you never stop. You never stop learning, ever. And I suggest that you never stop learning. There's too much of this world to learn about. And we ourselves don't even know enough about ourselves to even state that we're all knowing. So never stop learning, and always try to find new ways to make that learning something that is great for you as well as other people. I was doing landscaping for a little while. I just recently stopped doing that, physical reasons. And so right now I'm in transition. I was hoping to be able to do this full time. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes, From work. I'm not working right now, if you want to call it that. I don't have like a socially acceptable job. If that's what, yeah. I do tree work. Right now we're currently working an event, bringing firewood to an event, a paintball event locally. And so that's kind of cool. I did make $100 yesterday off that. That was awesome. And yeah, the titling of a job. See, let me take a step back from this. So there's the job that everyone goes to every day, right? And you do this every day, all year long, for most of your life, right? That's job or career, whatever you want to call it. I do not have that, if that's what you mean. I have random little side jobs, and a lot of them, and they all kind of happen at the same time. So I have an income, but I don't have a job, if that makes any sense. I actually have multiple incomes from multiple different side jobs. So, not really. I wish they paid more. I do the social media stuff. I also do the firewood. Like I said, I was doing landscaping there for a little bit. And like if I get items or something, like I'll sell an item or something, here and there, just random stuff. So it's not a consistent pay, but it is a little bit of money coming in, and so it's better than nothing right now. I would love to have a stable income, as we all probably would. Um, so we'll see. But I mean, I've got Twitch. I've got um, what are some of the other ones? I'm trying to think. I've got a couple of them. But yeah, it's a bunch of different types of things that I'm currently involved in right now, and and this is one of them. And so yeah, I actually applied to one of the local news stations, which was kind of cool. I thought that'd be awesome. Um, I'm trying to kind of pinpoint a little bit more of what it is that I'm wanting to do with my life. And I think that a lot of people, again, going back to forgetting to be a human being, a lot of people, they just grab whatever the first thing that comes along. And that's totally fine. I'm not against it. But I'm looking a little bit more specifically for something that is geared towards something that I enjoy, that helps me, that helps other people. Because I mean, I learned the reason why I do this is so I can learn too. It's not just for me to teach y'all; is I'm learning it with you. So, not saying specifically that I want to be a teacher because I don't have the education behind it. To be honest with you, I literally have like a fourth grade math level, so it's like I don't have that qualification. A lot of times I'm either overqualified or underqualified for a lot of things. I don't have the bachelor's degree. I don't have, I have a high school diploma that I kind of got handed because it was a zero dropout rate that year. I was working 3 jobs when I was in high school and mailing my homework in. So yeah, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's like, I don't qualify to be whatever titling that people are saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like I'm right at the edge of the outline of this circle of people that, like, they're in this circle or they're in this outer circle. And then, like, as you go up through corporate or whatever, you have certain set levels of knowledge or whatever, right? Or a piece of paper that says that they have knowledge. And knowledge can't be measured. Because there's different ways to learn, there's different ways of comprehending, there's different ways of communicating. So for us to be able to put a number, this is general. And I think a lot differently than a lot of people do, I feel. So a lot of people don't accept that. And some people, whoever will accept it, is going to gravitate towards me, people like yourself. And so hopefully, like I said, hopefully it does good. And hopefully you guys can get something from this and I can get something from this. And hopefully it continues on. I would really love to make this as part of my career. It's funny that you say that. We were talking about that the other day. I'm pre-algebra. So we're going to be in the numbers section on, I think it's Tuesdays. We're going to start learning pre-algebra. So I'm actually going to be learning with y'all, like real time. You're trying to learn it? That's awesome. Yeah. So join me on Tuesdays for numbers. And we're going to start doing the pre-algebra. I have to go to another thing is too about education. I know this, I'm kind of like jumping all over the place. Education is free. The source, questionable. But anything that you can learn in school, you can learn out here. The problem is putting it together. The curriculum that the schools use versus the curriculum that you could use versus homeschooling. Or like what I'm personally doing with my children is unschooling. I have taken them out of the school system, completely broken down every single thought process that there is as far as what you are taught in a traditional mainstream school, taking it all away. Broken it down to, what do you like? What do you want to do? And how can we make this educational along the way? It's literally like the most basic thing that anybody could do right now. Even anybody can do this right now that they have access to stuff. But the thing is like a lot of people don't. So it's kind of like a really weird double-edged conversation. Because of the fact that pretty much everything that you need is fully accessible to you. You just have to go looking for it. And the thing is that a lot of people don't want to put that energy and effort into looking for it. And it does. It takes a lot of time. Even just learning Twitch, it took me forever to figure this out. And all the social medias, like, and how they interact with each other and like all this stuff. So when people start learning about stuff, they feel like it's so, like when you walk into a classroom, that's why you feel so like overwhelmed, because there's so much knowledge in there that you have to like absorb, and it makes it scary. Whereas when you're afraid, you don't learn when you're afraid. You learn when you're intrigued, when you're questioning, when you're wanting to get more information. And I mean, don't get me wrong, like, yeah, you do kind of learn when you're afraid, but I feel like you learn more when you're comfortable. And if you go, for me personally, and this is not for everybody, but for me personally, when I walk into a place that it like that, it makes me feel like I'm not good enough. Like no matter what I do, I'm never going to be good enough for this establishment. And maybe that's personally, but I feel like that it's very like overwhelming. And when you're learning homeschooling or you're unschooling, it gives you a chance to break away from that everyday mundane, right? Which some people do need. But excuse me. It gives you a chance to actually see the world for the way that it is, not for what you were taught, versus learning about what you were taught and understanding the world the way that it is. Because I'll be honest with you, I would rather show people multiple perspectives of the same thing than only give them one topic and only give them one perspective and only give them this and then throw them into this huge world that has infinite amount of everything. So yeah. Don't get me wrong. A lot of the stuff that we were talking about in the streams is from school stuff. That's only because I didn't have any kind of curriculum. And I started this from scratch. I started everything from scratch. Like no one told me to do this. I just did it. And I made my schedules. I made my own schedule. My own schedule book. I have not had a regular, consistent, everyday job in like 3 or 4 years. I lost my house. I lost my job. I lost everything. And I had to start over from scratch. So starting over from scratch, I thought about it and I was like, well, I know I can make it to corporate. That's not a question. I had an $8,000 a year job working nationally where I was flying to different cities every week, to losing my house and my cars and everything and almost losing my kids. And having a full-on breakdown to now starting to build back up my life. And in the entire time, off and on, I've been slowly coming back. Yeah, we actually had like a huge ordeal with the school system where I ended up getting a class 1 misdemeanor for truancy, even though my kids were at school. It was a big deal. It was huge. If any of you guys are watching this now, have gone back and looked at the streams from before, if you were able to, you would have known. But that's cool. I was actually streaming live then too. But yeah, it was a big deal. It was a big deal, and I almost went to jail for it. So trying to keep up with everything has been a struggle. And I know that since 2019, for the most part, most of the world has been dealing with struggle nonstop. And a lot of changes have happened, like big worldwide changes have happened. So I think that we're in the turning point now of a comeback, and a pretty massive comeback for a lot of people who have been, I highly suggest rooting for the underdog right now, who have been at the bottom. These higher echelon type, it's almost like a table turning is what's going to end up happening. You're going to start noticing a lot of people from industries at the bottom becoming all of a sudden celebrities. And the celebrities that were, they're going to fade out. It's going to be like a whole evolution. We're going to literally watch the world go through its own evolution. I mean, we've been watching it since 2019. So, I know I'm kind of bouncing all over the place. But, yeah. So it's been interesting journey past couple of years, and like I said, I've been off and on with this. Consistency has always been an issue for me, but hopefully I have a little bit more of a stable foundation to start from now, and we'll see. I'm not gonna make promises or anything, because I've learned my lesson very quickly on here that you don't talk about it if you ain't gonna do it. That's another thing that streaming does, is it holds you accountable whether you like it or not. So yeah, but like I said, I hope everything goes good for everybody. And oh, whoops, my thing is like playing through. Oh, there we go. Okay, I did find that video, by the way, and I'm gonna play it real quick. I did mute it.
Early membership unlocks up to 40.
Shush. I might get copyright. I don't know. So we were talking about the change. I don't know if you can hear this or not. But he's talking about how basic.
I don't know. And even if I did know, I wouldn't tell somebody like you. Why? What's wrong with me? I try to sound
like all these world leaders and stuff like that that are like
seem to want to destroy it. Oh, Father.
Talking about destruction.
You're so wrong. Let me explain.
He said that all you want to do is destroy it.
Which you so nobly serve comes from destruction, disorder, and chaos. Now take this empty glass. Here it is, peaceful, serene, boring.
Just listen.
But if it is destroyed, look at all these little things. So busy now. Notice how each one is useful.
This is the ballet. George talking
so full of form and color. Now, think about all those people that created them. Technicians, engineers, hundreds of people who will be able to feed their children tonight, so those children can grow up big and strong and have little teeny-weeny children of their own, and so on and so forth, thus adding to the great chain. of life.
Water. Fruit.
You see, by creating a little destruction,
A cherry.
I'm in fact encouraging life. In reality, you and I are in the same business. Cheers.
So yeah, he's talking about massive change and destruction creating a chance for creation. So without the 0 and the 1, you have 1 and 0, and then 0, 1, 1. There's always that balance. There's always going to be that 0 and 1, no matter, even if they're in the middle of the 0 and the 1, even if they're like being bent, as we were talking about in what was it? Oh, something about space-time continuum or something like that. Anyway, mass and waves or something. Anyway, so no matter what, there's always going to be that positive, negative. There's always going to be that yin and the yang. There's always going to be destruction and creation. And without creation, there's no destruction. Without destruction, there's no creation. So we're seeing a lot of destruction in the world today. But that isolation from COVID and the destruction is going to cause an excessive amount of creation. And I mean that in a sense of there's going to be whole new ways of thinking. There's going to be whole new world leaders. There's going to be people who are influencers who are going to influence you in a way that you never thought before. So bring it on. The world needs change, and hopefully it's for the better for everybody, you know. But again, that goes back to the positive and the negative things. Sometimes you have to go through a complete, total tower moment and complete destruction to start over and create a new life, you know? And whether that being even in your career, like sometimes you got to throw the freaking book out, you know? Throw that book out. Not really, but, you know, donate it to somebody. Anyway, there's more than one way for everything. Yes, books are all great and fine, but that's not the sole purpose of what they are. Their purpose is to be there as a tool, as an addition to your education or your learning. It's a place to get information that you may not have had before. Other than that, it's just a book. It's a piece of paper that somebody, somewhere down the line, all these hundreds of people were involved in making, right? Maybe. Sometimes they're all machine made. But just understand that there's more than one way, and to keep an open mind and to get different perspectives from different people on the same topic, and just kind of expand yourself instead of getting offended. Learn something. Get offended. That's how you learn. Close some of these down. I get offended all the time about myself too, which is even worse because that's me. So, where am I? Day. Yesterday. And how much is going to be created from that isolation and all of this destruction? I mean, for example, how much did Tesla invent in his isolation that we could use today? How many inventors were overlooked because they were thought of as crazy or different or whatever you want to call it? I think we've already talked about a lot of these conversations and the topics. Like, what are the basic needs, nutrients needed for us to survive? What areas of the brain are affected by sensations? Bible, God versus government operated device. That was a personal conversation topic starter. Molecular evolution of humans versus time travel. That was kind of cool. What does our bodies need to survive? I think that kind of doubles back to the nutrients thing. How could science help in the new world? Um, what is the spiritual realm versus aliens versus time travelers? Where would you like to explore? If not nearby, then where? It's just topics to kind of get your brain thinking, like something to even add into your own little streams that you guys have. If something from my stream sparks a conversation in your mind, go for it. That's the whole reason why I'm even in existence in this world, is I am here to spark an evolution. I'm a miracle. And you are too. Hi. I was trying to get behind him.
Let's see.
What is it doing? What are you doing, silly? Where are you at? You're not even in the picture. Anyway. Miracle. Yeah, you are. We all are. Nope, that's my fiance. Oh, you got clothes on? Okay. He's over there playing on his video thingy or whatever it's called. So yeah. We just got engaged yesterday actually. So but yeah. Yep. That's Jeff. That's my fiance. He's playing on his computer. But yeah. Nope, he's retired. He used to be a correctional officer. Yep. So he's retired now. He actually just retired too. So recently. So yeah. I'm looking for work from home as a steady income would be great. Works perfect for me. But yeah, I don't know. I've been kind of looking around here lately, trying to find something, anything for a stable income, but it's just very minimal. So, but yeah, it's like I said, we're in transition right now, so everything will be okay. It's just gonna take baby steps to get there, and a plan, that of which I do not have one. So. But yeah. Trying to think. I know my brain just like is thinking about 700 topics right now, and I'm just okay. So what to do next week? Frequencies. We already talked about that. Questions and extras. If you guys have any questions, because I love this blow the eggplant. These are really great questions. And I encourage people, to ask questions. Ask the hard questions too. Like, just if it comes into your mind, really. Personal learning. Okay, so I wrote this down when I actually first met Jeff, which is funny. What each poisonous plant looks like in my area and symptoms and healing. And it was because I had gotten poison ivy all over my body, like poison oak, sumac, whatever it was, but it was bad. And so it's because I was doing tree work in the yard and I didn't realize what the plants were. And I'm sitting here smearing my sweat off my face and off my neck and my arms, and it spread to my entire body, and that was horrible. And nothing fixed it. It just took, like, how long did that poison ivy take to go away? Like a month, right?
Say 3 weeks to a month. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 3 weeks to a month. And I even ended up going to the emergency room. They gave my son a shot for it because he got it on his face, like near his eyes and stuff. So they gave him a shot for it. But they wanted to charge me $200 just to be seen. So I was like, yeah, nah, I'll just deal with this. Then I regretted it. Probably would have been better to pay $200 to go get seen, but either way. Because I don't have insurance. So, welcome to America. Anyway. But yeah, I'm hoping to be able to get a career going where I do have insurance and I don't have to worry about going to the doctor to get checked or anything. Even if it's just a regular yearly physical or something, but then again, whatever. But yeah, he's been retired for a little bit now, and he's enjoying his retirement, punk ass. And here I am, like, trying to find a job. And he's like, oh, I'm done with that shit. Yeah, he did, what was it, 25 years? 25 years as a correctional officer. So, he earned his time. If I had joined the Air Force when I was supposed to, I would have been retired too. But, you know, life choices. So, but, so yeah. If you have a chance to spend some time outside today, I know a lot of people were out and about for Halloween and stuff, but it's Friday. Just go have a good time tonight. If it's good weather where you're at, just go outside and look at the stars if you have a chance to. I noticed that last night we were sitting outside trying to look at the stars and at my mom's, and then we came back here and we were looking at the stars here, and I'm like, he was even saying, he's like, it looks different. So when you go to look at the stars at night, if you're anyone my age, I'm 42. So I want to say anyone maybe 30 and over. If you go outside and look at the sky, if you've regulared, right, you'll notice that the sky looks different. The stars, there's a lot more stars. Those aren't stars. Those are satellites. Starlink has put a ton of satellites in our atmosphere. And the first part of that project, I guess they didn't realize that the sun is going to beam off of them and you're going to be able to see them from the earth. So stargazers started complaining that the satellites have messed up the night sky. So now the satellites don't reflect light anymore, but the original ones do. So if you look at I want to say that there's probably like a good 300 or more satellites in the sky. If you see an entire sky with a line of dots going across the sky, the whole sky, right? You see a line of dots, that's the satellites. And they're in a grid. So if you look at the sky and you see stars that are like aligned this way and aligned that way or whatever, that is the Starlink grid. That is not stars. I do know of some people that were in the Appalachian, however you want to say it, mountains recently during the hurricane that said that they had Starlink and that was really the only way that they were able to communicate with the outside world. Hopefully that does good for everybody else. I mean, satellite phones and stuff like that have worked better than anything for a long time. So I don't see why not. But people like myself miss the original sky. So anybody that has been, I believe, born after the shuttles have gone up, which was in When did the Starlink satellites go up? May of 2019. Weird coincidence? I don't know. 12,000 satellites in space. 12,000. Wait, how many do they have now? To date, and this is to August 20th, 2024, there are more than 6,800 Starlink satellites of one version or another, according to a database by astrophysicist Jonathan McDowell, though some of these spacecraft have already been retired. How many are in orbit? As of July 2024, there are 6,281 active working satellites. The rest of them are either retired or not active. The last 20 Starlink satellites were launched from California 4 days ago. No, October 30th, so day before yesterday. That was the last 20 that they've had so far. So half the satellites work, right? Out of 12,000, there's 6,000 active satellites. And 20 of them just went up the other day. 12,000 satellites. Are they trying to surround the Earth with satellites? Is that what it is? Are they trying to... I guess it creates like a God view in a sense, because Google Earth is able to go back almost to the 70s. So it really boggles me. If you're into crime, you're fucked now. There is no there is no privacy anymore. I don't think there really ever has, but there's a false sense of security in it, but there is no privacy. Privacy doesn't exist anymore because those satellites can see everything about me right now through this house, through my body, probably. I don't even know. So, another thing I was wondering too is the conspiracy theory behind those Blu-ray lasers. For a little while, I was wondering, is it just the sun like reflecting light off of these satellites that's causing this laser effect? I doubt it. But, it's a thought. So, when you do the homeschooling thing, it almost kind of like triggers all these other questions to come up rather than like when you're in school and you're being mundanely drowned with like knowledge constantly. The same knowledge. That's what gets me, is the repetition with no advancement. Like none. You're never going to learn a new thing in school because it's the same curriculum every freaking year. That's what it feels like. So, and you can't keep 100-year-old freaking concepts. Don't get me wrong, tradition's all fine and great. Baseline, but for the most of life, you gotta stick with the here and now, like the today. And that's why when I was doing the history stuff, and like, for example, here in a minute, I'm gonna go back and look at Today in Sciences, is yes, it's great to learn about history. We've talked about history class, about being them erasing history and teaching a new way. People were all upset about that. It's not that. They're trying to get a different perspective of either the same topic, or they're trying to include other topics that happened at that period of time that no one learned about. Maybe a different perspective of the same person. Who knows? So everything that you learned, take it with a grain of salt. Because I promise you, in your lifetime, you are going to learn contradicting information that's going to make you question yourself and make you question your own knowledge of things. And that is the point of life. That is the evolution. You learn one way, you get a perspective change, you learn a new way, and that is your evolution. So, for example, I don't normally talk about politics, but let's do it. You have an entire group of people that's been the same for 50 freaking years, and it's not working anymore? Time to change some things up. Just saying. For those of you who are voting, I highly suggest you really look into what you're doing. Like it matters. Pretty much the United States is crashing castle at this point. Our king is a joke. So it makes us look like, anyway, personal opinion. So yeah. Anyway, today in sciences. The Codex mission will launch to the International Space Station in November of 2024 to study the solar wind. NASA's kernel diagnostic experiment. Sleep apnea and dementia. A study suggests that sleep apnea, a common sleep disorder, contribute to dementia, especially in women. Like myself. Keto diet and menstrual cycles. A study suggests that increasing ketones in the blood through a keto diet or supplements can help regulate menstrual cycles, which helps for women as well because of naturally, but because of the fact that our hormones change consistently on a daily basis, but then now also with our diet and everything else, Jeff and I were talking about this, that it affects everything. Nanoplastic particles and antibiotics. I don't know about you, but I know at this point that we pretty much have nanoplastics in every freaking thing. Welcome to the world of the past 30 years of us telling us to recycle. Guess what? We recycled back into ourselves. So, a study found that nanoplastic particles in the body can impair the effectiveness of antibiotics. So now the microplastics are so bad that even antibiotics that are being put into our body, it is being blocked by the nanoparticles that are in our system. So it's basically like keeping us sick. Elephants and beehive fences. A 9-year study found that elephants approaching small-scale farms in Kenya avoid beehive fences. Well, no shit. I would avoid a beehive fence too. Shit. I don't care how big I am. The oldest tadpole. I would love to know how the hell that they freaking figured this out. But 161 million year old tadpole was found and amazingly preserved. Okay, I'm probably going to say this word wrong. A gene for amylase, which helps break down foods like pasta and potatoes, has longer evolutionary history than previously thought. I didn't even know that was a thing. Voyager 1, NASA's Voyager 1, the most distant spacecraft from Earth, is doing science again after a problem. Let's see. Other recent science news includes an accidental discovery with glass that could be used to make lenses or as a glue. A toolbox to monitor and measure the physical forces that shape embryonic development. An enzyme involved in Huntington's disease that may lead to future treatments. A breakthrough that allows Boston Dynamics robot dog Spot to play fetch. I know a lot of you guys have seen the Elon Musk's robots of the future type thing that he's been doing, I guess, lately. I don't know. I've been seeing it a lot lately on TikTok and stuff. A study found that Earth is racing toward climate conditions that collapsed key Atlantic currents before the last ice age. Let me read that again. A study found that Earth is racing towards climate conditions that collapsed key Atlantic currents before the last ice age. Let's see. When is Grandparents' Day? A new quotation page features the astonishing ability of artificial intelligence to provide original art and an original limerick. Hey, when did you have that one?
That was when you remember you said when you first brought it over here. I showed you those pictures. I had that was the first time you brought your toy, and I stuck it. I forgot about it, but that's when I stuck the toy in.
Okay. Sorry.
I forgot about myself.
Sometimes it's better for me not to ask questions. Also, read a limerick about Isaac Newton's inspiration about his law of gravity. Gravity. God, I said that way wrong. Another reaction to Einstein's E equals mc squared. Hold on. Time out. Let's see. There's a study for perpetual motion. Today in Science History. Today in Science Newsletter. Today in Science Wall Calendar. Hey, we'll do that. Print out a calendar, each thing. Let me see if it'll do it. What is it? November 2000 and... trying to think, how many years should I go back? Pick a year, honey.
What? 2013.
Okay.
I just made up a year. I don't know nothing.
November. Let's see if it goes back that far. It does 2014.
There you go.
Okay. So today in history, in November 1st, 2014. I don't know why it says the H-bomb, 1952. I guess the H-bomb was dropped today. Hold on. Let's see. November 1st, 1952. Yeah, on the Marshall Islands. Operation codenamed Mike, the first thermonuclear weapon, hydrogen bomb, was detonated at Eniwetok Atoll in the Marshall Islands. November 1st. And that is what it looked like. I'm going to show you guys what it looked like. Ta-da! I can't imagine how, like, on a worldwide scale, how much this one bomb created change. Just from one thing can create a change all around the world and long lasting. So, and we realize, we do talk about like ripple effects and stuff like that. And, how like your one thing that you do today, or a butterfly effect or whatever it is, where you do something today and it drops and it ripples and it affects this person and this place and this thing and this time and this effort. And then down the road, it affects everything else. So what you do today not only affects today, but affects tomorrow and every day after for eternity. Because take a step back, right? And this is, we've already talked, Jeff and I have already talked about this, but we are one person on a planet that is circling, right? It's spinning on an axis, and it's spinning around a solar system. And now we've learned that that solar system is moving through time and space, like a worm through the water, right? And each one of those has its own gravitational pull, and it has its own time and space and speed. And I'm trying to remember exactly how fast we are going in space. But to take a step back and look at that reality based off of that knowledge, right? And it ultimately really does all come down to nothing matters. Everything that you did is hundreds of thousands of miles away. Even by taking a breath, it's hundreds of thousands of miles away. You'll never be back in that same place again, in that same time, in that same moment, ever again. There's no way to go back to it. So everything that you've ever done, all the knowledge you've ever experienced, and all these things, the only place that it stays is literally in what you could, mentally call a timeline of your own life and your own DNA. The only way to transfer that knowledge down is either through your DNA, meaning children, or expressing your knowledge to others, whether it be it written, verbal, visual, whatever. And even in that, you're still not capable to fully express your thoughts because of the fact that at the very baseline of it, there are no words to express the thoughts that you're thinking. Emotions don't have words. Your brain, your logical side of your brain and your emotional side of your brain don't even communicate with each other. So there are no words for emotions. We're just making up shit as we go. And whatever language that you speak. And maybe that language was just learned from another human being over time. We've even talked about, like, who even taught us how to eat? Who told us we had to eat to live? Who told us that we had to reproduce? How did we even get here? Who are we? What are we? There's still no answer to that. Doesn't that boggle you? Like, we know so much about the world around us and all about the things that we are, but we don't even know what we are. We don't even use over a certain percentage of our brain every day. And that's why I kind of stepped back from that rat race and that cycle of life that's so mundane and useless. It's not fucking working. I don't know how many times I have to say this. Everything that you've ever known, throw it out. Yeah, it's great as a baseline, but start over fresh. Create something new. Start a new path. Do something for yourself. Do something for somebody else. Because like I said, in the end, none of this fucking matters. All that matters is who, what, when, where, and how. And why. And even that doesn't matter. So I just hope that my my existence on this planet has been for something. So you don't even realize the lives that you affect and the people that you affect on a daily basis, even if you don't even know who the hell they are. You walk into a gas station and you smile at somebody. I'll be honest with you. There was a period of time where someone just smiling at me made my whole fucking day. Like, this is why I say we're all miracles. There's no explanation as to why the fuck we're here. Why are we here? Why are you here? Why the hell am I here? I know why I'm on stream, because I want to, but yeah, these are all questions that I really want you guys to kind of dig into in your own mind and start thinking about. Maybe on your drive home, or maybe while you're sitting in that cubicle wishing to win the lottery. Maybe when you're sitting at home looking at those same four walls. Or even trying to just figure out how the hell you're going to get through today. Or the next few minutes. Or the next few seconds. Because sometimes it does break it down to the next few seconds. And I hope that you just continue to breathe. And believe that there is something greater than all of us. Even if it's never explained. I just need you to believe. Whether it's able to be proven or not. And hell, even the heart. Right? The heart has been explained to us like this for I don't even know how long. It doesn't look like that. It fucking unravels. Did you know that? The heart unravels like a scroll. Everything you've ever learned is just one perspective of that knowledge. And I highly suggest you go and find your own knowledge. I could be wrong. You could be wrong. Everybody could be wrong. And even though you learn it today, doesn't mean that it's not going to evolve and change tomorrow. That's why none of this matters. So, anyway, enjoy today. And I hope that you guys got something from this. Hopefully it's something good. And hopefully you can pass on some good knowledge to other people. And until we see you again, just behave. And live your life. While you still can. Have a good day.